Abby Allman reporting for KD Chats here in downtown Toronto with the executive producer of Todd and the Book of Pure Evil, Andrew Rosen. How does it feel to have surpassed your goal on your Indiegogo campaign for the final episode of Todd?
Amazing. For not just the final episode, it's the final animated film that we're doing. So we set we thought was a lofty but reasonable goal of 75,000. Now we're at around 85,000 and still have 17 days to go. So we're about halfway through our campaign. We're thrilled because now it actually means we're going to do it. If we didn't reach 75,000, if we didn't reach our goal, we would be like, okay, well, we can't do this thing because there's not enough support out there. But our fans really have shown that there's worldwide support for this thing.
Speaking of your fans, the Toddies, tell me a little bit about all of the different initiatives that they've taken on their own to really promote Todd.
Yeah, for sure. Well, last April, we were not renewed by Space, who we love, but they didn't renew us. So we decided, we're the only ones, we're not canceled. We're the only ones who can cancel our show, and our fans agreed. So in fact, over the last year, they put on a rally at Fan Expo with signs and placards and chants. Someone made a petition on change.org that got 11,000 signatures. Someone made a really professional website to save ToddTheBookOfPureEvil.com, which is actually, I think, more professional than our website. So we've been in constant contact with them. And as well, there's someone made a Save Todd and the Book of Pure Evil fan documentary, a 6-part documentary series, just asking fans what they loved about the show, what their favorite parts were, what they'd miss about the show, what the world would be without Todd. So it's really this whole last year has been about the fans keeping this thing alive. And that's why we actually ended up doing the Indiegogo campaign and wanting to wrap the whole thing up with an animated film, because we want the fans to get the ending that they deserve.
What do you think it is about the series that makes these fans so passionate and really sets them apart?
I think it's the devil worship. No, I don't know. There's something about. We have, it's a niche show. It's not for everyone in the world. We know that. But when it's for the people who really appreciate it, it's a strong love for the show. And I think a lot of that has to do with the music. There's a lot of metalheads who really like the fact that they're represented. It's a show about the underdog as well, so there's a lot of people who appreciate that. But I also think it's about the cast and the characters that they portray. They're really relatable and likable, and people really want to know what's happened to them. It's weird because I think they're one of the more realistic portrayals of people and relationships on TV, even though they're in insane situations, fighting monsters and people's heads exploding and things like that. When it comes down to it, I think the emotional ties with the character are really what brings the fans back.
Can you give me a little bit of insight into what we might expect?
From the animated film? Well, it's being written right now, so I could make something up, but yeah, what do you want to see in it? Yeah. We are definitely bringing about an ending to the story of Todd. We had always envisioned something like 4 seasons, so we had actually arced out the last 2 seasons, and this will probably be the arcs of those 2 seasons combined. As well, if we hit our since we hit our initial goal in Indiegogo, what you do next with Indiegogo is you say, we'll do a stretch goal. So what's next? So at $100,000, we've told our fans, if we can get there, we will guarantee a musical sequence. And I think people love our musicals, and that's my favorite part of the show, the musicals from each episode, each season. So if we get to 100,000, there's definitely going to be a musical sequence in it. And that's not like a threat, like give us 100,000. But it's just like these things cost money, so we want to make sure we can actually afford to do it.
And over the years, you guys have been nominated and have won countless awards. Gemini WGC Award, nominated for an Actor Award. It goes on and on. How does it feel to get so much recognition from your peers?
It's great because we always, when you're on set producing something, it's just for you guys and you don't realize it's going to actually be seen by people. And then when people actually recognize, especially our show was really under the radar, people didn't know what to make of it, and it's so different from what's out there. So when we won when we were shooting season 2, when we got nominated for 6 Geminis, and everyone was just kind of like, what? People have seen this show and actually like it? And then when we won the best ensemble cast, I thought that was the perfect award, because that's really what the show is about. It's about these 6 lead casts who just work so well together. And then then we won some Canadian Screen Awards this year for casting and for sound. And the sound one's great because our friends at Urban Post did an amazing job over 2 seasons of putting a great soundtrack together as well. And it just feels great, especially, but like I said, especially that the cast are recognized. Oh, and Craig Wallace won for Comedy Writing Award for his season 1 script. And again, I think it just shows that, to me, the show is about the writing and the acting. Everything else is amazing, but the writing and the acting is really superior, and that's what we're trying to bring to the animated film as well. It's going to be the same writers, same actors portraying their voices. So that's why we're trying to tell our fans, don't worry, we're not going to mess things up too much at all, actually. But we're actually going to bring the best elements to the animated thing, but at least we're realistic in what we can afford to bring to them.
And how do you hope that audiences will respond to the final film?
We hope they'll go rioting in the streets. Right now, it was interesting at first when we announced it, 10% of the people are like, that sucks, we want the same thing. But I think we've turned people around because they realize we'll still have the same attitude in the animated film, but actually be able to do more with less money.
And finally, what is the importance of Canadian film and television programming to you?
Canadian film and television programming? Well, I think our company, Aircraft Pictures, we're a Canadian production company, but we think ourselves as Canadians bringing projects to a worldwide audience. We don't just think of making Canadian shows for Canadian audiences. In fact, when we did Todd, we made it it's a Canadian show through and through. We even reference poutine and like, not almost as a joke, but at the same time, no one around the world is like, oh, that's Canadian. They're just like, that's a really great show and it happens to be from Canada. So we just want to represent who we really are and not try and, make it all about Mounties and beavers.
And where's the best place to find out more information on the Indiegogo campaign online? Sure.
Well, for the Indiegogo campaign, you can go to igg.me/@Book of Pure Evil. But that's ending June 8th, so I don't know when this goes up. But otherwise, just go to toddandthebookofpureevil.com and has all the information about the show and anything you ever need.
Thank you so much. Congratulations and best of luck with this final film.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm Katie Allman reporting for Katie Chats here in downtown Toronto.